Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Sorry I scheduled a bit late this morning. I was up most of the night sneezing my head off again. Okay, looks like that sinus infection or whatever it is, the sinus problem hasn't gone away. Out to lunch, how you going? Deb, how you going? Shannon, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Mrs. Out to lunch, how you going? Good to see you guys. Okay, let's get into some news. Hang on, I got a cough already. This is ridiculous. And I may sneeze, okay, during the stream. Just letting you know. Il Donaldo Trumpo said, I've been waiting for the weekend since Monday. He's a bit excited. Is that an old clip? I don't know. But people are wondering about this. People are wondering what this, they think it means something, so I don't know. Celebrating. Interesting. Kate McClement said, oh dear, controversial MP Daryl Maguire has been found guilty of misleading corruption watchdog. I believe that's here in Australia, is it? Yep. Former New South Wales Liberal MP Daryl Maguire. He's given misleading evidence to the corruption watchdog about benefits he expected to receive from potential sale of a multi-million-dollar property. Okay, I thought that was maybe something more than it was. X22 reports said, do you see it now? Elon Musk posted this. They've been posting Pepe, the frog, which came from 4chan, 8chan, from here. Okay, people have been using this meme since this. So if you're wondering where that come from, It came from the Anon board, the Q one. Oz Integrity, I can't really say it without getting in trouble, guys, so that's why I'm sort of being careful about what I say about that over here. No one wants you to look at it, so... Oh, wrong one. Okay, Oz Integrity said when the outside experts look in, Australia is killing its own prosperity and people's livelihood in allowing Labor's insane renewables policy to continue. We should have the cheapest energy in the world. Instead, Albo and Bowen are transferring our wealth. Now, let's listen to someone outside Australia.
I mean, truly, what is wrong with you Australians? You have natural resources that are the envy of the rest of the world. You're the Saudi Arabia of the Southern Hemisphere. You export 7 times more coal than you consume, and yet you don't want to burn coal. You have nearly 30% of the world's uranium, and you won't build nuclear reactors. You export 3 times more natural gas in the form of LNG than you consume, and you won't drill for gas. I mean, I just don't get it. I love Australia. I think it's an amazing country, but your policy is just baffling. I mean, truly, what is wrong?
Don't worry, Matt. It's baffling to us as well, those of us who are awake. Anyway, how you going, George? Good to see ya. Elon Musk said NGOs should not be funded by the government to lobby elected representatives. Phidias, can't say the last name, the EU Commission was exposed. Let's have a listen to this guy. He's pretty spot on, really. I might have to turn it down a little bit because it might blow ears off.
The European Commission of Ursula von der Leyen is paying NGOs to lobby their policies into us, members of the European Parliament. Yes, guys, even if this sounds crazy, it's not a conspiracy theory. It has been widely reported that NGOs are using taxpayer money given by the European Commission to lobby us on certain policies. More specifically, it's been reported that they are lobbying mostly in favor of the EU Green Deal using the money from the European Commission's program called LIFE that can give up to 700,000 euros to each NGO per year. But wait, my friend, this gets worse. A member of the European Parliament called Dirk Gotting started to ask questions to the Commission about the contracts and the money given to the NGOs. And what was the response of the Commission? Well, they said there are around 9,000 contracts with NGOs. But they said they can't give him these contracts because there are so many that they will spend years just to put together all these documents.
Bullshit.
So what the Commission is doing is morally wrong. And it is also not transparent at all. They are using millions of euros of taxpayers' money, and not even we, the elected members of the European Parliament, can access those contracts. And the worst thing is that the European Commission itself knows that what they are doing is wrong. Look what they publicly admitted.
However, I have to admit that it was inappropriate for some services in the Commission to enter into agreements that oblige NGOs to lobby members of the European Parliament specifically.
I'm not against NGOs, and I actually think lobbying can be useful sometimes. But what you can't do is to fund NGOs and lobbyists with taxpayers' money and force your policies to the members of the European Parliament. NGOs fucking mean non-governmental organizations. So why the are receiving money from the government? But I'm curious to hear what you think. Let us know in the comments below how we can solve this situation.
That's crazy. So even the European Union are using taxpayer dollars. I think we're getting to the precipice, guys. I really have this strong feeling. Okay, this has been going on for a long time. This is Yig, who has passed away. This was from 2019. Is George Soros dead? Trump tweet special place. Trump tweet line from a poem about a father dying. Maggie tweet, he is dying. Trump tweet, dead on. We have a special place for George Soros. This is one of those posts, okay? A particular one. Which one? Number 330. We have a special place picked out for GS, George Soros. Really special. Because there's okay, there's been rumours for years about George Soros dying. 2024. And 21 hours ago, no, well, Benny Johnson is reporting it, but I can't find it anywhere. Okay, only from years ago. There's been rumours, but people are asking for proof of life of George Soros. So I just wanted to show you that, guys. So it's like the boy who cried wolf. We're not going to believe it when it happens because so many people have said, hey, he's dead. Oh, but apparently he died years ago. So there you go. MJ Truth Ultra said, so let me get this straight. Elon Musk is posting Pepe today. President Trump is quoting the drops from over here. And deltas are right on schedule. Iran next. And the ree from this person screaming when Trump got in 2016. MJ Truth Ultra said, oh my God, did you see what President Trump posted? Trust the plan, Iran next. The hunters have become the hunted. Nothing can stop what's coming. There you go. This is what apparently Donald J. Trump posted. Trust the plan. Nothing can stop what's coming. I was the hunted, now I'm the hunter. And just so you know, they did say expand your thinking. The date versus actual, Iran next. Trust the plan, April showers. Showers, do you believe in coincidences? What a coincidence. Do you believe? Have faith, the hunters become the hunted. Are you ready to finish what we started? Nothing can stop what's coming. It's not just a catchphrase. No, big changes are coming. And this is where Trump said he was the hunted and now he is the hunter. Okay, and he did say that. I posted it the other day for anyone who wants to go back and have a look. Timbo said, rumour has that the New South Wales regional Liberal members are deserting the party to join the Nationals. The factional loons are destroying the party. More to come, because they put this woman in charge who's all about progressing the Liberal Party, which is our Conservative Party here in Australia. She's going to progress it right over the left of the hill, of the cliff. Baron Trump parody said, breaking, President Trump just banned former Secretary of State Antony Blinken from all federal buildings. Do you support this? Well, yes. Any of these corrupt POSs, definitely. Definitely ban them. Bo Loudon said, breaking, President Trump has instructed the US Senate to remove all 1.4 million illegal aliens from Medicaid to put Americans first. Per Carolyn Levitt, this is what I voted for. So there you go. So they're getting kicked off Medicaid so that Americans can access it first. Something else that Trump posted. I think it's getting pretty close. The way the things are going and the posts that he's doing, this is getting very, very close, guys. I can tell you that right now. MAGA Voice said, holy President Trump just posted this on Truth. Obama's absolutely the one to blame. Donald J. Trump posted this. We know who's responsible for Iran's nuke program. Yes. Remember the pallets and pallets of money. I think I got a clip in here somewhere. At least I hope I bookmarked it. Brian Fraser said the NYPD has started arresting undocumented immigrants in New York City. Is this what you voted for? Yeah, apparently the Chinese are getting arrested in California. And because they were suspected to be voting, let me see, because I'm sure I bookmarked it. No? I think my bookmarks aren't working properly. Okay, I didn't. Maybe. Okay, well, anyway, Chinese citizens are also being arrested by ICE in California. Drogo said, think mirror. Matt Gaetz said, if the world is interested in secret nuclear programs in the Middle East, there's a country that doesn't allow any IAEA inspectors. It's Israel. Drogo said, think mirror. There's more going on with Iran and Israel than what we are being told. I can tell you that right now. Okay. Texas, watch what happens when a masked Antifa member comes at a British YouTuber, Charlie Veitch, and pulls a knife on him. Oh. I don't know, I didn't see a knife, but yeah, if you're masked up, don't go at people like that. Look, mask. Oh, he could have a knife in his pocket, who knows. Anyway, he got, KO'd. There you go. Matthew Kamazuli said a friend sent me this picture of a smoke shop in Vietnam. Marlboros are 40,000 Vietnamese dong per packet of 20s, which is about $2.40 Australian. Not the $50 plus we pay here in Australia. No wonder there's a problem with imports fueling violence and crime. Wow. There you go. They're $2 something over there. Okay. Let's have a look. Can I play this one? I don't know if there's music behind it. Oz Integrity said, the truth too horrific to admit. Let's have a look. I'll see if there's music. If there is, I'll just try and read it.
They didn't just lock you down. They rewired the fucking world while you clapped from your window. They told you to shut your business. You did. They told you not to visit your dying parents. You obeyed. They told you science could change weekly. And you nodded along like good little bio slaves. You wore the mask. You took the shot. You showed the passport. And when you screamed into the void, your voice was flagged as harmful content. But here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud. They used a virus to teach you fear. Then they used fear to teach you compliance. And now they know exactly how far you'll bend before you break. This wasn't about health. It was about habits. Submission became a public virtue, and questioning became a sin. They didn't flatten the curve. They flattened the human spirit. Product unknown is the glitch in that system. We're here to remind you what they want you to forget. You were never fucking free. But now, you might just be pissed off enough to fight back.
Ooh, that's a hard-hitting one, isn't it? Holy guacamole. Okay, Tommy Robinson, Islam explained in 3 minutes. You really need to understand it's not surrender. You need to understand it, not surrender to it. Nigel Farage. Now, it's up to you whether you believe all this or not. By the way, everyone mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything mentioned here is theory until proven fact, even if it is. Always got to throw that bit in at the end, don't I? Okay, let's have a listen.
The entire purpose of Islam, according to all Islamic doctrine, is to ensure that there is an Islamic state throughout the entire world called a caliphate, and under that, Sharia or Islamic law is the law of the land. That's it. Islam is no more complicated than that. Islam breaks the entire world into two parts. The Dar al-Islam, where Sharia is the law of the land, and the Dar al-Harb, the house or abode of war, where there is not Sharia as the law of the land. The function of Islam is to eliminate the Dar al-Harb until the entire world is a Dar al-Islam. And the vehicle to do that is called what? Jihad, which in 100% of all published Islamic law is only defined as warfare against non-Muslims. So let's just put that on the line. And so we're here talking national security issues. We have people here that are running for the office of President of the United States, and we have to begin there. And what I would put forth is that since, and actually prior to, but since 9/11, our entire national security apparatus has been unprofessional in its approach to this war, from the 4-star generals to the office of the president, to the national security staff, to the leaders of DHS when it was created, the FBI, the CIA, and other agencies. Because we have said this has nothing to do with Islam, despite the fact that our warfighting doctrine says when you analyze an enemy, you start with who he says he is and why he's fighting. And 100% of this enemy that we're facing, from the jihadi in Chattanooga to the 9/11 hijackers and everybody before and in between.
Okay, I don't believe it anymore. 9/11 hijackers whose passports conveniently survived severe fires. Yeah, that's the FBI, see. That's why I just went, oh, okay, FBI agent. But they are meant to take over countries. That's what they've always done. History shows that. Ivanka Trump fan account said President Trump just signed an executive order requiring an audit of every NGO which relies on federal funding. What's your opinion on this? I think it'll unravel things worldwide. That's my opinion on that. George said Trump was the original 9/11 conspiracy theorist. I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall. Let's have a listen to Trump.
When I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And this is steel that was, you remember the width of the windows in the World Trade Center, folks. I think you know, if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through the steel? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall. Most buildings are built with the steel is on the inside around the elevator shaft. This one was built from the outside, which is the strongest structure you can have. When I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it.
Wow, interesting, isn't it? He's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist. Okay, Paul Golding said in the UK it's illegal to kill a badger, but legal to kill a 9-month-old baby. Let that sink in. That's crazy. That's like what here in Australia. It's illegal to kill a bird or, you know, but hey, you can have an abortion up to 9 months. Okay, and this one, Alex Jones. Oh, okay. Scandal of a century just broke. The FBI has officially confirmed that the 2020 election was taken. FBI releases documents proving the CCP worked with the Democrat Party, CIA, to steal the 2020 election using ballots marked for Joe Biden that were flown in from China days before the election. Since Kash Patel released the documents to the US Senate last night, a former high-level intel officer has come forward to reveal how the FBI's Chris Wray ordered his agency to engage in a massive cover-up and work with the DHS to persecute those blowing the whistle. So there you go. The British Patriot said the most popular names of children born in European cities: Warsaw, John; London, Mohammed; Manchester, Mohammed; Berlin, Mohammed; Brussels, Mohammed; Amsterdam, Mohammed; The Hague, Mohammed; Oslo, Mohammed. Does anyone else notice a pattern? Yeah, look, whether they are dangerous or not, they should not be in our country unless they are willing to assimilate and leave the shit behind. But no, they've got to bring it here and there and everywhere. Brendan Dilly said, I just want to give a big shout out to all the dickhead influencers who've spent the last week showing your ass, then pivoting back towards President Trump when you realised you overplayed your hand. I don't think MAGA's going to forget so easily this time. A lot of people have, and they've suddenly flipped back towards Trump again. Oh. And that's over Iran. Trump is not looking for war. Okay, he does not want to get America involved in another war. He will be the peacemaker. Just wait and see. Benny Johnson said Matt Gaetz flips the script on Middle East diplomacy. If both Iran and Israel have secret nuclear programs with no IAEA oversight, why not have them both give them up? A dual disarmament deal brokered by Trump sealed with a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't disagree. Okay, MJ Truth Ultra said, oh my God, did you see what President Trump posted? Yes. Trust the plan, Iran next. The hunters have become the hunted. Nothing can stop what's coming. Yes. This one, just from under Trust the Plan, Iran next. Matt Gaetz said President Trump wants peace. Israel wants regime change war. One American News said Matt Gaetz does not want war with Iran and President Trump doesn't either. Matt Gaetz said President Trump is wisely weighing his options, calling for Iran's unconditional surrender of the nuclear program. President Trump always wants to take the action most likely to generate peace, not war. Tara Bull asked, is this the same person? I don't even know who that is, but no, it doesn't look like the same person at all. Very weird. See what plastic surgery can do? Make you look like a freak. Anywho. Insurrection Barbie said Obama said something yesterday everyone should pay attention to. If you flood the zone with enough of the exact same coordinated messaging, even if it's false, it resonates with people who are low information. It's not only happening on the left, it's happening on the right as well. Yes, it is. If the news says over and over again, this is propaganda 101, if the news says something over and over again, like Americans are going to war in Iran, if they keep doing it, eventually some people will believe them. That's why we say do not trust the news. Do not trust them. Sorry guys, I've got to blow my nose. Okay. Cat Turd said without President Trump, our country would already be toast. You'd be getting arrested for free speech and memes right now. The open borders itself would have already destroyed our country. But you actually think I'm going to abandon Trump because he's the doomsday podcast bros who flip-flop every 6 months are hyperventilating and stomping their feet again? Deep breath. Apparently, was that the Hodgkin twins or whatever their names are? Yep, 100%. I agree. Anyway, there you go. And it's not because we're in a cult. It's because we know, because we read things that give us a hint as to what was going to happen. And it's all going to plan. And it was written 8 years ago. 2017, 7 years ago, sorry. Brianna Morello said, bring her straight to the chair. New York Post said depraved Long Island child therapist admits to sharing rape porn, extremely vile and unthinkable. You horrible, horrible woman. Millstone, straight away. Yeah, or straight to the chair. Yep, bring her straight to the chair. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Not that it'll get you far these days, but... Rupert Lowe MP said a Labor MP posted the words deport foreign pedos. The window has shifted in ways previously thought impossible. Let's keep kicking it. And that's in the UK, I believe. Just hang in there, guys. If you're in the UK, hang in there. I know it looks bad right now, but I do believe you might be okay. Concerned citizens said, holy crap, the UK map has turned black with just 30-degree heat. Dark red wasn't scaring enough people anymore. They think you're stupid. They're doing this in Australia as well. Okay? It goes a really dark red when, oh, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Sorry, I can barely talk with the nose the way it is. Blocked up. Yeah, look, wow. You've got 22, 26, 29, 24. That's a mild day. 30, 28, 25, 26, 28, 21, 22, 23, 16, 10, 5. Oh, my God. Feeling hot, hot, hot. They really do think people are stupid. See, colour coding matters as well. It really does. Okay, Unite Republicans, Let's Take Back America said, who agrees with this law? I do 100%. Idaho lawmakers pass law to begin executing pedos. Let's go, Brandon. The judges are not locking them up anymore. Oh, they do, like for like a month or two, maybe, if you're lucky. Dr. Malouf said, remember these 2 Iranian girls arrested in January simply for posting a video of themselves dancing in public. They're facing years in prison or even death by hanging. An Islamist regime that punishes teenage girls for enjoying life has no right to exist. And, yep, the Iranian ladies used to dress like ladies back in the day. Nice dresses, you know, modest, but very pretty. And these days they're forced to wear hijabs. I don't know why. Sometimes I call them hijabs. For some reason, I don't know. Rupert Lowe MP, again in the UK, reading this morning how the Pakistani government is refusing to take back 2 Rochdale child rapists. This shouldn't be a negotiation. There's no need to negotiate with the Pakistanis. If they don't comply, £133 million in foreign aid gone. Send them a bill for previous years too. Tax remittances, 25% sounds fair. In 2021, there was a £2.94 billion sent to Pakistan. Tax it. Enforce tariffs on Pakistani goods. We have a trade deficit with the Pakistanis. Use it. Suspend visas. Use it as leverage. Be cold and calculating. I like the idea of doing it alongside like-minded nations, a deportation NATO. I'm sure the Americans would join the effort with plenty of others. Do it swiftly, brutally, and as one. The Pakistanis would fold by lunchtime. We don't need to negotiate. We hold all the cards. Use them. Don't we wish they would? The Persian Jews said Iranians panicking because Iran's national bank in Shiraz is refusing to allow people to withdraw their money. They won't give money. They've closed the doors and they say they don't have any money. The same thing happened during the fall of the Shah in 1979. Oh, they're going to be peed off. They really will be. Okay, this is a joke circulating the internet right now. Joe Palak's, it's about in Israel, okay? The US holding Israel's hand, then letting Israel jump, right? On their own. Okay? This time, I promise, this time.
What happened?
I'm so sorry. I bailed at the last second, but I'm ready now. I promise.
All right. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Come on!
Oh, hey, there you are.
Uh-huh.
I feel like you jumped on 2.
Oh, honey, jumping. It's fun. It's really fun, but the point was to do it with you. So if that's gonna be a problem,
No,
just...
I definitely want to do it. It's just that I'm having a hard time getting my legs to cooperate.
Okay.
You're gonna have to push me.
You sure?
Yes. Just one hard push, and I'm good.
Okay. Here we go! Oh, come on!
Sorry, Israel, you're on your own. I don't know, that's how I took it. Maybe he's supposed to be against the United States, but I didn't take it that way. More like that guy's smart. Okay. The Figgin said the dog thought that if he waited in line, he'd get some ice cream. The store manager didn't want to disappoint the dog. God bless him. I just thought I'd put this in the middle of, for something different. Some good news. Oh, look, the dog's going, yeah, wait for me. I want my ice cream. Aww. Okay, Wall Street Mav said get woke, go broke. The original one was get woke, go broke, but anyway. Dunkin' Donuts CEO reveals a loss of $1 billion since going woke. We're sorry, we won't try that again. I'm surprised you tried it the first time, mate. Should know by now. Wall Street Ape said Los Angeles resident reporting the emergency room waiting area is empty because our people are not getting life or death services, meaning illegals aren't going to the ER for everything they need, like a cough, because they're afraid of ice. This is saving taxpayers' money. Oh, interesting. Empty hospitals. I'd love to see that. Not Jerome Powell, parody account, said, "Stop it." Donald J. Trump said, "If Iran doesn't stop this war in 24 hours, I'm going to send Hillary, our best hitman. 100% accuracy, has never failed a mission." I do believe this is a joke. Even if Trump did post it, it's still a joke. Okay, News Baron Trump said, "My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realise that we're taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organised in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and ensure special operator necessity. Rest assured the safety and well-being of every man, woman and child of this country is being exhausted fully. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. Organisations and or people that wish to do us harm during this time will be met with swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-written to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations at home and abroad. Okay? And this is when they will be arresting more senior public officials. That will mean in countries, okay? Many countries, not just the US. Anyone involved in all this shit. Okay, Senator Matt Canavan here in Australia. When we signed up to net zero, they told us not to worry about the end of coal and gas because we would be a green energy export superpower in their dreams. Now we get the truth. Net zero will cost us a bomb and we have to jack taxes to pay for it. Net zero makes you poorer. The Australian said Jim Chalmers has declared tax reform is needed to fund growing spending on defence and the care economy, while warning that national revenue streams will be threatened by the net zero transition. As he left the door open to raising the GST, increasing levies on resources and charging electric car drivers for using roads, which they said they'd never do. But they have, because when does the government ever keep its promises? At least till Trump. Rupert Lowe MP, back in the UK, with the right will and can-do attitude, they definitely can be deported. In fact, they must be deported. Rochdale grooming gang cannot be deported after tearing up Pakistani passports. Really? Is that their excuse? You have got to be fucking kidding me. So who decided they can't be deported because of they tore their passports up? Which smart bureaucrat decided that? I'm being sarcastic, by the way. Yeah, dumb bureaucrats, mate. Mick Amias said left-leaning individuals don't care about mass migration because they don't care about our nation's cultural heritage being eroded. They don't care what our founding stock did to build the nation of Australia. They don't care what our European migrants did to help grow the nation of Australia further. They want to see Australia barren just as they are. They don't want to have children, and when they do, they want to have them be led down a pathway of thinking they can be the opposite sex. The left will break this country to the point of no return if we don't take hold of our nation once more. I do agree. This is interesting. I didn't even read it, but I bookmarked it. Ben Danklin said the Jetson age is coming. Remember we saw the... Here comes... How does it go? The Jetsons. Here's George Jetson. And boy, Elroy. Can't remember. Jesus, it's been so long. Anyway, the Jetson age is coming, and when it does, everything changes. 1, as the old systems fade, a new reality is rising. Oh, dear God, can I just talk without stuffing up? There's technology out there so advanced most people wouldn't believe it exists. Not science fiction, not the future, it's real, it's hidden, and it changes everything. Let's have a look. The Jetson Age. 2. We were told it was about potholes, budgets and band-aids. Meanwhile, hidden projects mastered. Free energy tech, anti-gravity propulsion, zero-point energy, quantum defence grids, regenerative tech, interstellar comms. They called it classified, but we paid for it. The real problem, not a lack of tech, not a lack of resources, control. If you control energy, you control progress. If you control money, you control people. So they lock both behind a velvet curtain. But something's changed. The curtain is lifting, the old guard is crumbling, and a new financial framework is quietly replacing it. ISO 20022 messaging, Basel III golden asset-backed rails, tokenised settlement with real-time finality, RLUSD, XRP, XLM, XDC, Plus, and other ISO coins ready to activate. The future doesn't need to be invented, it needs to be freed. The tech was always there, the power was always there. We just needed the infrastructure to finally support it and the will to release it. In the next 5 years, everything changes. Creativity becomes currency, sovereignty replaces survival, resources become abundant, and truth becomes unstoppable. This is not a collapse, it's a crossover from the old world to the quantum age. The Great Awakening isn't just about taking back what was stolen, it's about unlocking what we were never allowed to see. Hidden truths, suppressed technology, a future once kept from us now within reach. At this time, we build the world they never wanted us to imagine. Yeah, so it could end up like the Jetsons. Did I get that right? Here's George Jetson and boy Leroy. I can't freaking remember the name of him. Okay, Matt Van Swal said breaking, astonishing drone footage has emerged of 150 Amish men in New York carrying a barn hundreds of feet. The entire move took less than 5 minutes. No heavy machinery was used at all. Absolutely incredible. Oh my God, it's like ants. When they get together, they can move a lot, something quite big, Look at them go, though. Just move the whole shed, the whole barn. Why not? Unbelievable. Go right, to the left, to the left, to the right, mate. Yep, just keep going down and then go sideways. Ready? Or they go on an angle. No, they're going the other way first. Do they have to turn? They have to turn, maybe. Are they having to turn it? Yep, they're turning. Look at them go, mate. I'd like to see 100 women try and do that. Oh, dear God. You know those women who think they can do anything a man can do? Yeah, I want to see them do this. No freaking way in the wide world, mate. Look at them go. Sorry, I've got to play the whole thing because I've got to see how it ends now. I bet you the ones standing on the concrete are going, oh, thank God, solid ground. Only because there's dirt all around and they might be sinking in it. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to move again soon. They're going to have a rest or something's going on. Got to get their bearings, maybe. Oh, here we go. Yep, here we go again. Holy cow. I don't know, I find it amazing, guys. You sure the thing's not on wheels? Now, how would you get the wheels out from underneath it, see? I just can't believe that anyone could do this, really. Wow. Oh, down you go. See, yeah, I was waiting for that. There's a big drop there. Holy cow. That's amazing. Anyway, okay. Let's get on to the rest of it. Gunther Eagleman said she deleted her post. Gunther Eagleman said Somalia still has slaves. Ilhan should go fight to free her own people. Because Rep Ilhan Omar said 160 years ago on June the 19th, 1865, slavery ended in this country. Today we celebrate black freedom, resilience and achievement and continue the work to root out systematic racism from our policies and institutions. Yeah, so that was like, how many, 160 years ago? Well, Gunther Eagleman just told you Somalia still has slaves. Go fight over there. But she deleted her post. And we can see that here. Post is unavailable. There's a lot of them recently. Il Donaldo Trumpo said peace is always possible. Take the deal. Okay? A lot of people believe this is Donald Trump himself. Avi Yamini said, I want regime change in Australia. Cat Canada said, I want regime change in Canada. I bet you the UK are saying the same thing. We're all right at the... Maybe, are we at the edge? Don said, can anyone explain why Aboriginals, as 3% of our population, are 32% of our criminals in jail? I could, but I'm not going to. If you don't know, I don't know. Oh, my goodness. Il Donaldo Trumpo said he won't stop. J.D. Vance said Michelle Obama's a man. On Blue Sky Social. Allegedly. Yeah, J.D. Vance joined Blue Sky. You know, the left-leaning Twitter? Yeah, that one. They tried to kick him off. I think they did, but they had to let him back on for some reason. Wall Street Ape said this is so insane. Texas Rep Steve Toth showing Democrats went on the House floor for over 2 hours to argue that people who move into your home illegally while you go on vacation should be allowed to stay. Yes, this is real. This bill seeks to keep squatters out of our house. Democrats have fought for 2 hours for the right, I don't even know how to say this, for the right of people that don't belong in your house to stay in your house in the event that you leave for a month or two and a squatter goes in and takes your house over. Democrats are fighting for the ability of those people to be able to stay in your house. Most jacked up thing I've ever heard. Despite the hours of Democrats demanding people should be allowed to move into our home when you leave, luckily the bill passed. That is crazy. The Democrats are fighting for someone to steal your house, in other words. Yep. They're fighting for the people who want to steal your house to stay there. Crazy. Topher Fields said, let me translate this nonsense, what our PM is saying. What did he say? Anthony Albanese said, we're making sure power companies give you a fairer deal on your bills. Here's how. Oh, God, no. Anytime the government gets involved, they make it worse. We'll stop prices increasing more than once a year. We'll ban excessive charges like high late fees. Make sure you can use a payment method with no fees and more. Our new rules will make sure you don't pay more than you should. Something's going to rise. Anyway, Topher's going to translate. We're ensuring power companies hike their prices by the maximum amount they can because they don't have the option of future adjustments if needed. We're making the power companies include their card fees in the price so everyone will pay them, even those who don't use a card. And our new rules will continue to hurt Australians so that next year we can demonise the power companies and grandstand on empty promises again. That's exactly what they'll do. Okay, and is that it? Okay, now I've got one more thing. Where'd it go? Okay, let's read this from the Vigilant Fox, okay? Now, this is all alleged, okay? The deadly salt myth that fooled the world. Everything you thought you knew about salt is backwards. The deadly myth is ruining health, fueling disease, and no one's taking responsibility, allegedly. The Midwestern Doctor is the information where the information came from. Everything you've been told about salt is a lie. You've heard it again and again. Low salt equals healthy heart. Salt causes high blood pressure and heart failure. Turns out salt restriction is the real killer. A major study found that low sodium increases your death by 34%, allegedly. And I don't know because I'm not a doctor, okay? When you don't get enough salt, your blood thickens, circulation slows and clots form. But what about salt raising my blood pressure? You won't believe how useless salt restriction actually is. Here's everything you wish you knew about salt sooner before it became a scapegoat for giant pharma scam, allegedly. Eat less salt is one of the most common health tips ever given. You've probably heard it many, many times. Doctors repeat it, health authorities push it, food labels are built around it. But here's the problem. Science doesn't support it, and it never really did. Okay, the salt scare began with the US Senate's 1977 dietary guidelines, about the time where disease started really going up, and yeah. Okay, they warned that sodium raises blood pressure and causes heart failure. But modern studies show the link is shockingly weak, and in some cases it's just flat out wrong. So is this cholesterol thingy, I think. Anyway, it's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I cannot tell you or give you health advice. Let's break it down. Two main arguments fuel the salt fear. Salt raises blood pressure and salt triggers heart failure. Sounds convincing, especially when it's on repeat for years. Remember what I said about the propaganda? Even if it's wrong, if they keep repeating it, people will believe it. Something else I wanted to ask you. Just because the majority of people think something's true, does that make it true? Nope. Okay, but it's wrong. Blood pressure is one of the most manipulated health metrics in modern medicine. All they have to do is pick a number, Big Pharma builds a drug around it, and then they narrow the range of healthy so that most people aren't. It's a recipe for lifelong prescriptions. Salt got roped into this scam and people have suffered as a result. Research shows drastic salt restriction only drops blood pressure by 1%. That's it. That's nothing. Meanwhile, patients in hospitals receive 10 times the daily sodium limit via IV sodium chloride with no spike in blood pressure. Hello? You know when they put you on the drip? What do you think that is? What do you think is in that? It's not just water, you know. That's weird. Yes, salt can trigger fluid retention in heart failure patients, but here's what they don't tell you. Too little salt is often worse. Low sodium weakens circulation, causes swelling, and can even bring on cardiac shock. Yikes. As always, see your doctor if pain persists. Low salt equals low energy. Studies show low sodium causes fatigue, dizziness, and insomnia. It increases the risk of atrial fibrillation and rapid heart rate. It contributes to chronic fatigue and POTS. I don't even know what POTS is. Your brain and your heart need sodium. And that's why you've got sodium in any electrolyte drink. Okay? Oh, okay. Hyponatremia, low sodium, is a hidden epidemic, but since salt has been demonised, no one's looking at it. Low sodium has been linked to increased death risk. 15 to 20% of hospital patients have low sodium. It's actually a common reason for hospital admissions. It can be triggered by many BP and psych drugs. Low dietary sodium intake causes a 34% increase in cardiovascular disease and death. And it's all made worse with dietary salt restrictions. This is public health malpractice, allegedly. See your doctor if pain persists. So what's the real story with salt? Salt intake follows a U-shaped curve. Too much equals bad, too little just as bad, or maybe even worse. Yet public health guidance still treats it like a straight line. In one global study of 181 countries, the low salt countries had shorter life expectancies. Another study found low sodium raised your risk of death by 34%. Why do we still hide the salt from grandma? For a deeper look into the studies supporting salt, check out Midwestern Doctor's full report. Your blood is an electrical suspension of particles. Sodium helps keep everything flowing smoothly. Sounds important for blood, right? It's called the zeta potential. Too little salt and your blood cells start clumping, circulation slows, sludge and clots form. It's like a clogged pipe or trying to push syrup through a straw. Have you ever binged on salty processed foods and felt terrible the next day? That's your zeta potential crashing. Refined salt lacks the minerals your body needs, and it often contains chemicals that actually hurt your blood flow dynamics. That's why you need the rock salt. Pink Himalayan salt's, I think, the best. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not a doctor. Sea salt and rock salt. Not all salt is the same. The type of salt matters a lot. Redmond sea salt is your best mainstream option. Ancient deposit, high iodine, low toxins. Oh, be careful with pink Himalayan salt. Too many sketchy suppliers, and Celtic salt, sea salt, may contain microplastics. Holy shit. Avoid refined table salt as much as possible, and absolutely avoid salty processed foods. But don't fear natural salt, especially when paired with potassium. Your ancestors weren't afraid of salt, neither were your great-grandparents. Why you? The war on salt is part of a pattern. They told us the sun causes cancer. They told us eggs cause heart attacks. They told us salt causes death. So go and eat your eggs with salt out in the sun, okay? It turns out there are just convenient scapegoats for a sick system that profits off the confusion. But people are waking up. We know what's good for us and we're taking back control of our health. Public health is finally cracking and the Maha movement is waking people up. But change will only come if enough people call out these lies. Salt isn't the enemy. It's a vital nutrient. And in many cases, cutting it from your diet might be your biggest risk. Allegedly, apparently. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. As always, go see your doctor if pain persists. So there you go. Very interesting, isn't it? Okay. Got out to lunch, I think. I may be first, but that just means I have no life, I think. Oh, don't worry about that out to lunch. I don't either. Out to lunch, say, hey, I heard a guy got a new pet termite. He said he's named it Clint Eastwood. Very good out to lunch. Clint Eastwood. I've got to blow my nose. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, sorry, guys. Sounds like I'm getting the flu all over again. I just keep sneezing and sneezing. I'm sick of sneezing. I was up for 2 hours in the middle of the night sneezing. Great. Okay. Deb's here. Shannon said before, Kai, he's slipping. Warm in bed but hungry. You see the bind I'm in? Yes, we see that. Nice and warm in bed but you're hungry, so you got to get out of bed and make something to eat. Out to lunch, said Deb, beautiful and witty. Shannon, hi, Guy. Out to lunch, said New York, 10 days straight with fog. Why? Something's going on. I think something really is going on behind the scenes that we're not being told about. And it's not what the news is presenting us with. That's why all these people jumping on Trump and, going, everyone's believing the news still. I don't know. Out to lunch, said strange noises, South Jersey, where all the drones too? Are there drones in, where there was drones in New Jersey? Interesting, maybe they're trying something out there, out to lunch. Deb said, very interesting, out to lunch. Deb said, I'm so looking forward to a road trip and it's all because of this song. Oh, God love you. So many places to go in Australia. There is. There is. Very good places in Australia. Australia's a lovely place. Shannon said, at least fuel has come down a little bit, but still too expensive for road trips. Yeah, I can't do that either. No way. Mrs. Out to Lunch said, hello, Hev and chat family. Hope everyone's doing good. Jumped on to give Hev my thumbs up and support. And as always, Donna loves Fred and Fred loves Donna. And George, how you going? Good to see ya. Out to lunch said, yeah, Donna helps her mum and dad. Love that girl. Deb said, I said to Stormy we have not been on holiday, so we're going to catch up with his new grandson and the rest of his daughter's family. Oh, well done, Deb. That's the way to get a road trip, yeah. Out to lunch said, gee, in the house. Mrs. Out to lunch said, God bless you, have an advance. Oh, thank you, you too. Deb said, hello, Mrs. Beautiful Out to lunch. Beautiful Mrs. Out to lunch. Mrs. Beautiful Out to lunch. I've got dyslexia or something. I don't know what's going on. I can barely see. My eyes are squinty because they're so irritated. My nose is so irritated. It's irritating my eyes. Deb said, much love, Donna. Out to lunch said, I swear I shared with baby sis. Donna, she busy, I think. Deb said, it's all for entertainment purposes. Yes, it is. George said, I'm okay, thanks, mate. How are you? After Out to lunch said, gee, how you be? Shannon said, and now you have to jam your brakes on an 110k zone to 25 kilometres. If you see RAA or cop lights and risk getting rear-ended by a truck that can't stop, then a $2,000 fine and 7 demerit points. Yep. Yeah, well, they can try that, and I won't be paying the fine, or, they can take demerit points off me. I don't care. But I'm not paying a fine. I'd actually fight it and say that. So you want me to slam on my brakes in 110k zone just because someone's broken down on the side of the road? Cause accidents? Yeah, it's like the copper pulling me over saying, because I can see your phone screen, it's a distraction. I've got a fucking massive screen on the front of my dashboard, man. It's more of a distraction, especially at night when it's glowing at me and I can't see the road properly. I have to cover there's some stupid little TV screen in the car now. Like, God love it. I love the new car. Like, I would never, I'm not trying to disrespect my dad for giving it to me. But those things are dangerous. I don't know how they're allowed, and you can't have your phone sitting on the passenger seat face up, but no, you're going to have it face down. It's the same type of shit, Shannon. It's just making rules up willy-nilly without even thinking about them. Yeah, Out to lunch said, Shannon, that's crazy. Deb said, oh, my God, Shannon. Shannon said, crazy new laws. Deb said, because some don't have common sense, Shannon. Now it's a mess. Out to lunch said, NGO, never a good organisation. Yeah, good, true, that. Out to lunch. Out to lunch said, trying to make you afraid to drive, like plane crash, scare you not to fly. Yeah, I'm not so worried about plane crashes. That's not what scares me not to fly. It's more the height. I don't know why. I'm scared of heights. Shannon said, because they're a cabal of criminals. George said, acts and statutes are bullshit laws. Yes, they are. Deb said, don't forget the civil engineering truck flashing lights while driving. Out to lunch said, isn't GS gone? Well, he might be, but like every couple of years, people say George Soros died. I can't find any proof of that anywhere. Hang on. See if there's anything in here. Controversy and protests as Los Angeles Dodgers say team blocked ICE agents from stadium parking lot. Judge Hannah Dugan trial for obstruction of ICE. The world's highest IQ holder says he believes Jesus Christ is God, the way, the truth and the life. Just a scratch, Elon Musk reacts to a massive explosion of Starship during launch pad test. Okay, I did see Benny Johnson report it this morning, but I found that Benny Johnson actually reports things that you can't find any proof of. So I don't know what's going on there. Okay, I don't know. I even looked on X for George Soros dead. Look. Yep, see, I did the search already. 2022, 3 hours ago. But they're asking, is he dead? I hope so. 2024, died suddenly. Oh, globalist, vax pusher and tyranny expert George Soros appears to have a stroke. Is George Soros dead in 2019? 2022, there are reports that George Soros died of a heart attack. 2024. I cannot find anything. Brenda said, anyone else think Oh, God love ya.
Timur28 tipped $30. Rinse your sinus. A friend of mine called me this week having a sneezing fit asking me what's wrong. What should she do? She rinsed her sinus and a piece of ham came out. LOL. Sneezing fits
are an early warning sign. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go up and get the rinse for your nose. Because I've been using that Fess, which is apparently salt water, and that it's a spray that you put up your nose. I've been using that. But yeah, I stopped the antibiotics 2 nights ago, and last night I was up half the night sneezing my head off. Okay, I will try that, Timmy. Thank you very much. God love you. I was getting a bit worried about you there. Whew. Okay, so I can't find anything on George Soros dead. But someone thinks George Soros is dead and his son's running the show. That's what I mean. If it happened, it would have happened back in 2020. And we're watching a movie. And, yeah, I don't know. People are asking for proof of life. So there's that. But I can't find any news at all saying that he's dead. Okay. Deb said, do you mean like movie from Obama, Leave the World Behind, and I felt something odd while watching? Oh, yeah, that movie, I swear to God, their camera angles are off-putting. And God love you, Timmy, you legend. I will do that, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in my head. Anyway. I will get that rinse. Can you do it yourself? Can you make a rinse yourself? Like distill water and salt? And like pour it down your nose? Up your nose? Turn yourself upside down and pour it down your nose. There you go. Okay, out to lunch said, Deb, I haven't seen Obama crap. Deb said, do we have footage of her after Trump got in a second time? No, that was the first time, and I think, like, you know, there's been nothing like it since. Shannon said, yes, so did Barry when he put his hand in Michelle's lap. Deb said they've been playing games for so long. Shannon said, where's my Alex? I don't know, she messaged me. I thought she'd be here. But she's not here. Hang on, I've got to blow my nose again. I bet you she fell asleep. Poor thing. It's nearly it's the middle of the night over there. Probably 1 a.m. George, you can let me know unless you're asleep too. You did see Alex today on Wheezy's channel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that. That was late at night for me. The middle of the night. Shannon felt something odd. Okay, I'll get you. Dolores, how you going, Dolores? Good to see ya. Deb said, yes, Shannon, she's hoping to pop in. Shannon said, burger. Oh, Shannon. Everyone's saying hello, Dolores. Zal, how you going? Shannon said, "I'm so hungry but also warm in bed feeling lazy." Sal said, "That's what I hear Mr. Spear is messing around in here." Shannon said, "Have no fear, Zal is here." Oh, dear. Deb said, "Just $10 a packet here." Oh, they're $12 a packet where I get them from. But they're $2 in Vietnam for cigarettes, that is. I think I've got to stop smoking. I'm probably allergic to a cigarette now. That's why I think I keep sneezing. It's been going on for years, sneezing attacks. I keep thinking I just have hay fever, but who knows? I might have a piece of food stuck up there. No, I'm kidding. You never know, though. A piece of ham came out of Timmy's friend. I might have accidentally snorted my food instead of eating it one day. No, all you got to do is like laugh when you're eating or something and you could get, food goes everywhere. Out to lunch said -$4 here. George said $50 for a packet of cigarettes. Wow. Yeah, exactly. And most of it's government taxes, George. Although I don't pay $50 for a packet of cigarettes, I pay $12. Yeah. Oh, out to lunch, did you mean $4 there, not -$4? $4 there? Yep, George said, wow, for a $50 packet. Shannon said, better than taking a long walk off a short pier. Shannon said, turn it up. Deb said, even better, I don't smoke, the quiet truth. Out to lunch said, but not better than go jump in a lake, though. Out to lunch said, going fishing soon. Cool. Shannon said, maybe if she had a mouth, not just eyes, that clip wouldn't need subtitles. Yeah, maybe not, Shannon. It was just a pair of eyes looking at us and telling us all about it. Yep, Deb said, all for entertainment purposes only again. Out to lunch said, got a boat if it floods. Yeah, I don't, but I'm on top of a mountain, so I think I might be all right if it floods. It's going to run off the mountain. Unless the mountain collapses, then we're in trouble. George said, cool, out to lunch. I've not been fishing in years. Deb said, Pauline Hanson have told you. Yep. Shannon said, did you put the bung? Hey? Did you put the bung in the boat? The water? A rowboat? Sal said, George's favourite religion. Oh, no. Yeah, no. George said, yeah, Zal, lol. Deb said, kill it from within. Shannon said, not too true. Windows heard you. What? Oh. Shannon, I'm not reading that. Deb said, yeah, the building was nuked. Shannon said, dew weapons. Deb said, yeah, sorry, Shannon. Sal said, the world is like a big game of kerplunk and we're getting down to the last few straws to be drawn, then all marbles will come crashing down. That's exactly what's going to happen. Out to lunch said, does anyone here ever just pick a house to honk at, even if you don't know them, or wave at folks working on the side of the road like you know them? Is that wrong? No, I do it when I see workmen on the side of the road as if to say, like, thanks when they're holding the little lollipop stick, to say stop and go. Yeah, that thing. But, yeah, if I accidentally honk my horn, I'll stick my hand up and wave, just pretending that, hey, how you going? Oh, dear. Okay. I'll let you guys and your crabs get on with it. I'm kidding. Out to lunch, and my brother said he had a crab old enough to grow a beard, kind George. Oh, God, love ya.
Timmer28 tipped $15. Yes, Hev. They sell squeeze bottles kits that come with salt. You use warm distilled water or boiled, then cooled water, mix with the salt, stuff the device up one nostril, and squeeze gently.
The sinus fills up and comes out the other nostril. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. Oh, my God. Don't use boiling water up your nose, sorry. That's what I was laughing at when you said warm distilled water or boiled then cooled water. I thought, oh, you don't want to stick boiling water up your nose. That wouldn't go well. Okay, so I'll read that again. Yes, they sell squeeze bottle kits that come with salt. You use warm distilled water or boiled, then cooled water, mix with the salt, stuff the device up one nostril, and squeeze gently, and the sinus fills up and comes out the other. Okay, that's what I've got to do. I've got my own squeeze bottle. What sort of salt can I use? Sea salt? Or do I have to go up and get their salt from the chemist? That's what I need to know. You legend, Timmy. God love you. Oh, hang on. Timmy just sent me a link. Okay. It's a rinse. Sinuflow. Ready rinse. Okay. So they're reasonably cheap then? Cool. Okay. And Timmy, can you join us this weekend? Maybe on your Sunday, my Monday, for a call-in. It's all right if you can't. Table salt is fine. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Thank you so much, Timmy. I appreciate that. Okay. You guys are still talking about crabs. I don't know what's going on there. Zal said, not going to happen, Hev. It's the caliphate for you. Oh, dear. Zal said, World War III scare is coming, folks. Yeah, it will. They'll tell you we're in war. I'm telling you now. Hang on a sec. I've got to blow my nose again. There's definitely something up my damn nose. I'll tell you that right now. It's too itchy. It can't be that itchy. Yep, I read that one. Deb said Zelensky wants a doll made of him like G.I. Joe. In his dreams, in our nightmares. Shannon said Adrian Grande, and that's Ozempic. Oh, is that Adriana Grande? Oh, that's what Ozempic does to you. George said she needs to eat some food. I don't know. What's going on there? Is my stream all right? Someone tell me in the chat. Shannon said, don't poke the bear. No, you shouldn't go poking bears. That could be dangerous. Deb said, can you imagine how small he'd be up against the real G.I. Joe doll, etc.? Sal said, Trump is flushing the dunny of all the floater hanger-oners. Shannon said she got a 5 head. I don't know what that means. And I'm probably lucky I don't know what that means. Deb said, we feel it in the waters. Yeah, I feel it in me waters. Something's going to happen. Zal said, no, I reckon impaling like Vlad style for that woman. Searing 26-degree heat. George said it was 31 degrees the other day. Shannon said, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. My books are flailing everywhere. Zal said, Ricardo Bossi wants capital punishment brought back in. So do I. Yep. For pedos. We can start with them and then think about it from there, you know. Shannon said, Hooks, mob. Hey, MRE, how you going? Dropping by for the like at work. God bless you all. God bless you too, MRE. Good to see ya. Deb said, I saw something yesterday that made me very sick. Our brain cannot fathom the depravity. It's going to be brutal, and it was just one man crime. Oh. Deb, you got it right this time, but it wasn't Mob Rat Hunter. This one was MRE. Mob Rats Exposed. Deb said they are very beautiful women. They are. And, you know, with the videos that I used to show of how they looked before Islam invaded them, they were very beautiful. George says some of them were dual nationality and they destroyed their Pakistani passports. Well, I don't think that's a good enough excuse. It's just me, though, you know. If you're a child rapist, I think you should be deported if you come from another country. Shannon said, sounds like the ANZ Bank here. Yeah, they don't give you any money anymore. Deb said, we don't take back the criminals you took in. Sal said, Heritage Bankers are good, and Shannon, ANZ are a bunch of outsourcing mongrels. Heritage Bank, I've never heard of it. Deb said, Modern Family. Shannon said, good dog. Sal said, happy hound. Apparently you can get dog ice cream now. I think I heard that on MRE's stream or RTC's stream, Rat Trap City. I don't know, but I think you can get doggy ice cream. I think it was MRE, actually, that said at Mob Rats Exposed, said that, yeah, you can get doggy ice cream. I didn't know that. Sal said, should do that here in Australia with the hospitals. Yeah, they should. Deb said, more of us than the he, she, they, them. Zal said, EBS are coming, folks. Yep. Emergency Broadcasting System, look out for that. Exactly, Shannon. Deb said, Barron knows. I think that was just Barron Trump news. It wasn't actually Barron Trump himself. But all the people, a lot of people we know, because we read this before. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going on to an extent, not everything. We don't know everything, but we can take a pretty educated guess on what's going to happen. Zal said, mainstream media, EBS, exaggerated, BS, real EBS, emergency broadcast system. Yep, exactly. Shannon said, where's Yowie? I don't know. God love him. Shannon said, Albo, you're drunk. Albo's always drunk. George said, ECHR bullshit. Sal said, McAmius, 100% on point. Now I've got a cough. Hang on. Hey, Yowie's here. How you going? Conchega Yowie. Good to see ya. Shannon said, what's wrong with being drunk? Ask a glass of water. Deb said they're getting too much money to sell out their own country. Yeah, I think so. For the love of money is the root of all evil. That does not mean money is the root of all evil, but the love of it. When you are trying to grab too much of it, you know, you get a bit greedy. You get a bit like your morals go out the window. Never, ever let your morals go out the window over money, for God's sake. It's not worth it. Sell your soul. That's selling your soul for your money. Isn't it? Anyway, Deb said, yeah, they have been hiding technology. Yes, they have. Sal said, my poodle has an astro tail. George said, they're traders, Deb. They have had it for a long time. They are at least, I think, 50 to 100 years ahead in technology than what we know, than what they give us. I think they are that much ahead. Shannon said, Plummet Airways. Deb said, yes, Wizard of Oz is being exposed. Yes, the curtain's being pulled back. Sal said, free energy's been locked up because of the cabal controllers now gone. Why are we paying our electricity bills? Shannon said, my poodle has a doodle. Oh, Shannon. I just read that one without thinking. I'm blaming Shannon for it. Out to lunch said, Mississippi has a $6 million surplus. Our food tax down to 4%, but gas went up 3 cents. Working towards no income tax, state tax. Ooh, well done. Deb said, yes, from the air, they do look like ants. Shannon said, there's no I in team, but there is 150 Amish. Zal said, the Amish are legends. Yes. Deb said, yes, just moving house. Imagine that. I just can't believe it. Like, I watched the clip and I went, they're actually lifting. It looks like a barn, not just a house. I don't know if it's a house or a barn, but it's amazing. Deb said, see how fast they put a barn in one day. Sal said, yeah, guess some of those women that appear on the whatever podcast out to do some heavy lifting. Yes, exactly, Zal. Oh, my God. If you've ever watched the whatever podcast, I think they get the dumbest women alive. I don't know. Some of them. Some of them are good, but a lot of them are just like, I don't know, man. I've got to blow my nose again. Okay. Okay. Shannon said, can't reverse park a car, but house, no problem. There you go. Hey, Starchild, how you going? Good to see ya. Out to lunch said, no, a female told them where, put it there, but then wants it moved again. Oh, wait, try it here. Yeah. I hear you, out to lunch. George said, I'm going to grow myself an Amish beard. Yeah, I'm going to become Amish one of these days. My version of Amish. It's like a fairy tale in my head. Zal said, watch your fingers. Deb said, I've watched this, and they go inside and show you how many men are inside. Whoa, really? Wow. Shannon said, next time build the house where you want the house, lol. Zal said, Omar's like AOC. They need to learn how to make sandwiches in the kitchen. Yeah, exactly. I wish I could find, actually, I wonder if I can find it. The X-Files. Mulder. Ooh.
Timmer28 tipped $5. You'd be shocked how many people might put boiling water up their nose. LOL. I just draw it out to be safe. With your sneezing, nose ruining, and coughing, your sinus is trying to rinse itself. You
could even gently pulse the bottle to dislodge the block. Oh, God, love you, Timmy. Thank you so much. You're a legend. Yeah, I kind of can believe that people might put boiling water up their nose. Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying don't do it, but yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rinse my nose. This is ridiculous. Mulder tells Scully to make him a sandwich. Oh. Can we find it? Oh, hang on. You can't be in your own freaking... Oh, my God. You've got to be on YouTube, not in the... Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Go home and then search. The X-Files. Oh, no. It's going to take me forever. Mulder tells Scully to make him a sandwich. I'm pretty sure it's the Arcadia. Yeah, it is Arcadia. Is it this one?
Murderous conspiracy of silence.
You want to make that honeymoon video now?
Rob and Laura Petrie.
Petrie.
Mulder, if we ever go undercover again, I get to choose the names, okay?
Fine.
This tells me that you're not taking this seriously.
No, I'm taking it seriously. I just don't understand why we're on it.
Oh, I have to pause it for a sec. Just because I don't know about... I'm just trying to find the part where he says, make me a sandwich.
It's our first catch back on the X-Files. This isn't an X-File.
Sure it is. It's unexplained. What do you want? Aliens? Tractor beams?
Wow. Admit it, you just want to play house. Woman, get back in here and make me a sandwich.
That's the only bit I wanted. Look, that short little bit there. And it took, what, 39 seconds to get to the sandwich bit. My chickens are going nuts. Anywho. Okay. Yeah, Zal, that you reminded me, make a sandwich in the kitchen. Starchild said, Israel's being attacked again. Deb said, slavery became the servitude. Out to lunch said, should have built it on the concrete instead of the field, then you wouldn't have to move it again. Shannon said, Amish paradise, Weird Al. Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic. George said, I want regime change in the UK. I've had enough of Starmer and Labor. Out to lunch said, women couldn't do it. They couldn't stop talking, lol. Shannon said, AOC can pour drinks. Allegedly, she's halfway there. Deb said, yes, on YouTube, family come home to find people have moved in. Oh, no. See, that would just pee me right off, you know. Out to lunch, did you ever notice how people stop in the most inconvenient places? Yes, I do. Yep. Especially with a trolley in the middle of the shopping aisle. And decide to talk to someone else with a trolley in the middle of the shopping aisle and block the aisle off. Yeah, I don't like it. George said politicians are a waste of space and air. They are. Shanna says Starmer ain't done effing you yet. He'll make it impossible for you to Brexit. Deb said, I'll ask my dad because they took all the salt out of his diet. Sal said, just don't take table salt. Other salts are good. George says, sorry to hear that, Deb. Deb said, it didn't take long for the lack of salt killer fast. Sal said, put butter in your coffee. Also, MCT oil is good too. What's MCT oil? MCT. No idea. Deb said 1991. Oh, out to lunch to Liberal tears. Sal said you could replace your whole blood supply with saline water. Just ask Keith, allegedly. Okay, ask your doctor, as always. Ask your doctor. I have to say that. Sorry, Zal. YouTube. Deb said then medicine are finding more conditions can be used for. Sal said even Brondo. I don't know what that is. George said, I do like salt on my fish and chips, so do I. You can't have fish and chips without salt all over it. Deb said they also try to say animal fat's bad too. Yeah, they did. Zal said, take a Bex, Hev. That used to be like for everything. Take a Bex. If you've got a problem, take a Bex. Out to lunch said, making artificial blood, I've heard. Universal blood store on shelf. Oh, no. Shannon said, POTS is what you get before you get PANS symptoms. I'm not having anything to pee in. What? Deb said, all in the plan for depolymerization. That's what I thought you meant, Shannon. Sal said, chippies. Shannon said, now I want some potato chips. Well, make sure you make them fresh. Okay, where am I? Way back. Oh, my goodness. How back? Oh, here. Deb said, I'm trying to make salt water and sea salt don't dissolve. Well, there you go. Deb said people from England and Ireland were given salt when they came to this country. There you go. Shannon said sunscreen causes the big C. Zal said the great mainstream bullshitto. Deb said, yes, we're our doctor in the house. George said salt water is meant to be good for a toothache. Deb said all basic, but salt heals. Cynthia, how you going, Cynthia, with your little prayer hands there? Deb said, yes, what should I have for breakfast? I don't know, but I'm thinking scrambled eggs on toast. One piece of toast and like 3 eggs on that. More eggs than toast. My slices of bread are tiny anyway. Shannon said, if you don't like drones, get a new muffler and exhaust upgrade. Deb said, yes, I use guilt to get a road trip. Deb said, yes, I am. Keep my phone face down. Sal said, how does that phone BS work when you see people driving around with it plastered on their windscreens, obscuring their view? Exactly. What if it's on a holder on your dash? You know, the phone holders that you can put on your dash? What if it's there? Is it still distracting? I don't know. You're going to have to try that one. And then say, why do they sell dash phone holders then if you can't put your phone on the dash? Maybe it's not if you're playing something, though. Maybe that's just like if it rings. But that's not distracting at all now, is it? Or messages, they're not distracting at all. No. I've got to blow my nose again. Hang on. This is ridiculous. Yeah, you should have seen me in the middle of the night. I'm like, does this not ever end? Oh, my God. I think it's just lucky that I'm drinking a whole lot of water right now. But I have to go up to the chemist and get a saline rinse for my nose or whatever it is, salt rinse for my nose. Deb said, yet Uber driver can use a phone in front of them. Yep. Police have computers on there, Dash. Rules for thee, but not for me. Shannon said, I made a visor to stop the reflection out of an ice cream container. Good on you, Shannon. I'm thinking of making a black material one that you can just slip it over it so that you can't see the glowing freaking screen at night. I was driving home the other night after babysitting and it was like, oh, I can't see. Zal said, George Soros is a Mandela effect. Shannon said, crashes are up because everyone's too busy looking at their speedo. Yes, exactly. If you're constantly having to change your speed because the speed limits keep changing from suburb to suburb or from 100 metres to 100 metres, then you're going to be distracted. Shannon said, Benny Johnson repeats the same thing over and over in that stilted speech pattern. It puts me off. Yeah, Benny Johnson, I don't know. There's a couple of times I thought it was clickbait. Sorry, but that's what I thought. George said, Timmy with a thumbs up. Deb said, thank you, Timmy. Zal said, buy a netty nasal douche, Hev. Oh, really? Shannon said, Timmy's lurking. Deb said, yes, lurking, doctor. Zal said, Soros looks like David Rockefeller too. Probably could be, you never know. Just playing a part. Shannon said, George Soros is Weekend at Bernie's. Yes, it could be, Shannon. Deb's laughing at Shannon. Deb said, I'm looking forward to next talk with Dr. Timmy. Yep. Well, I can hopefully pin Timmy down for some time soon. Hoping it will be like my Monday, his Sunday. But if he's busy, then it won't be then. It'll have to be another time. Shannon said, or Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yes, or Joe Biden for that matter is shot. Exactly. Yes, they're all Weekend at Bernie's. They do that a lot, okay? Even if they're on life support and absolutely unconscious, they will say, oh, no, they're still alive. They're still here. I even saw a photo of, I don't know if it was though, of George Soros at his son Alex and Huma Aberdeen's wedding. They said, oh, Soros just popped back from the dead to attend his son's wedding. I don't know. Sal said they're all long gone, Soros, Obama, Hillary, etc. Yeah, I know there's that theory, but like just every couple of years people bring up, oh, they died again. Deb said up one side of your nose and out the other side. Okay, do you put it up the side that's irritated so it comes out the other side? Or do you put it up the side that's not irritated so the irritated side ends up coming out that side? Do you know what I mean? Like I've got one nostril. My left nostril is highly irritated. So is my left eye. Okay? So do I put it up that nostril or the opposite one? Because, you don't want that whatever's itchy in that nostril to go into the other one. I don't know. I don't know if my logic is working or not. You can tell me just in the comments if you want, Timmy. Oh, dear. Okay, George said 1:09 a.m. there. Well, it'll be 1:38 now. God love you. Deb said, yes, Alex sent me some beautiful music this morning. George said, nice, Deb. Deb said 9:40 a.m. Adelaide, not moist. Out to lunch, said pet dander. Oh, but I vacuum a lot, like. Deb, I might have cat hair up my nose, but I do vacuum a lot, so I don't know how. Zal said, just do both nostrils. Have look up the netty nasal douche. It's designed for the warm saltwater flush of the sinuses. Okay. Shannon said, we used to put 2-minute noodles through our nose and out of our mouth for fun. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, when you're a kid, you'll do things like that. When you're an adult, you tend to go, oh, yeah, I don't think I'd do anything like that. I don't know, maybe you do both nasal passages, Deb. I don't know, I've never used it before. So that should be fun. Out to lunch said, should have said $4 a pack. Out to lunch said, the bung is in the bunghole. Okay, thank you. Sal said, where's Chopper Dell? Shannon said, do you have some TP for my... Oh, okay. Okay, Shannon's gone off there. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, yes. And Deb said, thank you so much, Timmy. Timmy said, table salt is fine. Deb said, they work really well, Hev, nasal pot. Shannon said, B is an absolute butthead, FU autocorrect. Beavis, oh, yep. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, I remember them. Dickheads. They were. Deb said, we're very grateful for our doctor in the house. George said, YW. Shannon said, which can play the piano? Zelensky doll. Deb said, we're still here. Good stuff. Shannon said, 5 head is bigger than a 4 head. Okay, thank you. Aha, see? That one went straight over my head when you first said it. 4 head, a 5 head. I get it. Deb said, yes, ignorance is bliss. So very sorry I'm dyslexic. Don't worry, I am too. I can't even read properly anymore. Don't know what happened. The internet happened. Deb said, that's the crime I saw. Shannon said, you can tell if an Indian is dyslexic. The dot on the back of their heads. Deb said, you can get a dog everything now, even coffee, cake. Oh, my goodness. Conchega said, Yowie's here. Shannon said, late for Yowie. You don't have to. Out to lunch said, Raper sent home in Frida-built Boeing, built by DEI hires with a remote to fly it, piloted by a 6-year-old and an Atari controller on the wrong channel. Conchega said, hey, everyone. Out to lunch said, built on Friday stuff is the worst day to be built on. Oh, yes. Yeah, don't build on Fridays. I've got a very itchy hand too now. Opposite hand. Okay, Deb said, people are behind the problem, not money, not guns. Exactly. Kachega said, Deb, a very sore Yowie Deb did a rugby league field on a very spongy field yesterday. My hamstrings are screaming. Yowie, hope you recover well. Deb said, you'll need a good spa and massage, Yowie. Yeah, definitely. George said, I used to love playing rugby when I was a kid. Prefer to watch it these days. Oh, Conchega said, Deb, is that an offer for the spa and massage? Deb said, that's why they had to move the house. Rod said, late again. Hey, all. How you going, Rod? Good to see ya. And thank you again, Timmy. Yep. God love you. Conchega said, George, haven't played since 1987. Oh, gonna cough.
Timmer28 tipped $5. Start with the irritated side. You may need to do a few rinses. There's a chance that whatever caused your infection is still in the sinus. I don't use the neti pot because there's not enough pressure. It's great for regular
rinses or pollen though. Okay, so it's great for regular rinses or pollen. Okay. So the one you recommend was the one you sent me then. Is that right? Okay. Where was I up to? Kachega said, George, haven't played since 1987, was involved as a coach, state manager for the National 15s Development Office. 45,000 students I've taken the game to, now I just produce the fields. Shannon said, Timmy knows about things that pulse and twitch, then release a huge wad of sticky goo. Oh, Shannon. Deb said, Timmy is a doctor, he knows because of all the idiots. Out to lunch, make me a sandwich. Deb said she wants to be the man next time. Conchega said, asked you about the game in the Navy. Deb said, love it. Zal said, KY? Oh no, I've got to pre-read these. Deb said, yes, I can hear the chickens. Shannon said, the love doctor. Who are you talking about, Shannon? Deb said, chicken dinner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Sal said, most normie people have no peripheral vision, they have tunnel vision. Conchega said, stay away from Celtic salters. It's not what they claim it to be. Rod said, love butter and coffee. Shannon said, Brando is what the body needs. Lol. Brando? Do you mean brandy? Deb said, I bet our doctor in the house, Timo, has lots of fun stories. Oh, probably, yep. About people pouring boiling water up their nose. Zal said, yeah, microplastics, I hear, KY. Out to lunch said, Brondo is from Idiocracy movie. Oh, okay. Sal said it's what plants crave, Shannon. Sal said Brondo. Shannon said, I have to fight a gobbledygook for some chippies. Deb said, please do not abbreviate Conchega Yowie. Yeah, because it sounds like something else. Shannon said, Mike Judge deep cuts today. Deb said, I don't wear sunglasses or cover up. I do not use sunblock. Zal said, you noticed, Deb. Deb said, kids, Shannon. Deb said, I have my work cut out for me, Conchega. George said, just had to look up the gobbledygook. Lol. Conchega said, Deb, 6'4" and 110 kilos, Deb. Whoa. You're a big man, Conchega. Out to lunch said, I like my phone holder like a book. Deb said, yes, it started a lot of it funny, Zal. Conchega said, Deb, I was a sports trainer and know how to give a really good massage. Gen X, how you going, Gen X? Nasal rinse, boil water and add a pinch of uniodized salt and dash of baking soda. Blend well, allow to cool, rinse sinus cavities with solution. Deb said, I might need a bigger table. Yowie's saying rugby. Shannon said, I think Timmy would prefer that I pin him down, not you have. What are you talking about, Shannon? Oh, God, I've got a cough again because I breathed wrong. Conchega said, Deb, and hands the size of dinner plates. Timmy said, Deb, I keep meaning to text you back. I'm the worst lately. Yeah, I sent Timmy a message too. Don't forget me, Timmy. I'm kidding. Oh, God, love yous all. Deb said, it's all good, sweetie. Timmy, it was very late. Out to lunch said, good to bad. Probably won't want to spread it, I would think. Zal said, just do both nostrils, Hev. Look up the Netsy nasal douche. It's designed for the warm saltwater flush of the sinuses. Shannon said, sorry, Timmy, I'm hungry. I write shit, crazy shit when I'm hungry. I was going to say, I don't know, Timmy's had a child. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I don't know. It's not, you know, I'm not here to judge anyone, including you, Shannon. George said, hey, Timmy. Deb said, don't do both nasal passages. Not at the same time, you won't. Deb said, snuggle with your cats, Hev. Deb said, champagne comes through your nose. Maybe that's what I need to do. Drink a big fizzy drink and let it, you know, have a laugh or cough and it'll come out my nose. No, I'm kidding. I am joking, of course. Out to lunch said, a bunga's the opening of a 50-gallon barrel. George said, I got marbles stuck up my nose when I was a kid. Oh, that would have hurt. Shannon said, no hands, Zelensky-style piano playing. Yes, he does it with his pee-pee. Out to lunch said, bung is the thing you put in a bung. Oh, okay. You guys, honestly. Deb said, puppetry of the penis. Yes, apparently with Zelensky there is. Okay, where am I up to now? Here somewhere. Shannon said, Killary is uninterruptible autopilot. Deb said, hello, MRE. No wonder I got MRH wrong last time. Yeah, Shannon said, a chiropractor in an Amish village would make a killing. Deb said, we're so blessed to have our doctor in the house, Timmy. Deb's laughing at Shannon. Shannon said, yes, flawless victory. I got one through. Did you? It's all going straight over my head. I'm sorry if I'm reading rude things. That's my chat. I'll blame them. Shannon said, oh no, Alex missed it. Timmo said, yes, neti pots are great though and definitely look them up. Great info on rinsing sinuses, etc. Deb said, I can squeeze my nasal bottle. I was shocked how good it works. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go up and grab one the first time, you know, before I try making it myself so I know what it actually is and entails. Yep, Shannon's from the movie Idiocracy. Timo said, yes, that's yes. The link I sent is the best for this issue, Hev, and the stories I could tell, Deb. Shannon said, gobbledock. I thought it was gobbledygook. Okay. Out to lunch, said Deb, me too. Shannon said, remember the Smith's chips ads? Smith's crisps, says George. Yeah, we call them chips here in Australia. We call hot and cold chips chips. Shannon said, roll on the floor laughing. I have tears. Conchega said, ciao, people's got work to do. Have a good one, Conchega. Zal said, once you get used to the nasal flush, then snort it back, Hev, and spit out the content. Oh, my goodness, that's going to be a challenge. Zal said, see you, Conchega. Shannon said, yes, Hev should remember. Deb said, bye, Conchega. And with that, I'm going to go soon too. Deb said, we are to blame for Hev's potty subject. Yes, I don't like potty humour. But, you know, you guys sometime. I'm not going to read that one, Shannon. Anyway, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And I will be back with another video. I don't know when, maybe tomorrow, you never know. But certainly the next day. My Monday, your Sunday. Okay, have a good one, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye.